Alright, so I'm going to be doing a overheating test on the somewhat new released GX85 Panasonic. I'm using the 12 to 35 f2.8 lens for this. Going to be shooting into some bushes right into the sun, and it's about, let me pull up my phone. I don't know if this is going to be in focus because the RX10 doesn't have very good autofocus in my opinion, but it's 98 outside. I'm doing this directly in the sun, and so I am going to be doing a time lapse on a second GX85. I'm going to start that right now. Let's just, anyways, I used to shoot video on the A6000 until I started doing more live events, and well, when I found out that it overheated within 15 minutes or so, it just that was frustrating. And then, you know, you had to deal with the 29-minute record limit, which is annoying too, obviously shooting live events. But the overheating was the worst because you always had to worry about and stress about, oh, when's that camera going to overheat? So anyways, I got the NX1, but I ended up selling it after about 2 years of using it because it's, well, I think they're not going to be in business anymore. So I don't want to be part of a system that isn't alive, if you know what I mean. And Micro Four Thirds is very alive and well. It's pretty solid. Anyways, I also read a rumor on some preview for the GX85 that it actually has, it didn't have the record limit 29. I was surprised about that. And I mainly got it for the in-body stabilization with 4K. That's huge to me, and it's awesome. But anyways, so I'm hoping that not only does this test see if this thing can take some serious heat, it's almost 100 outside, but also can take, well, see if it has the 29-minute record limit. So I'll come back and see what happens. It's really hot. Man, I'm sweating bad. And it appears around 28 minutes it did stop recording. I will say I'm not surprised at all because this is super hot, direct sunlight. The camera is, let me touch it. It is super hot. I mean, this is hot to the touch in a way. This is worst case scenario. If I was filming a live event, I would go out of my way to make sure it's done in the shade. And so 28 minutes is still immensely better than 5 to 10 minutes that I got on the A6000 or A6300. I actually returned the A6300 to get another GX85 because, well, I already explained that. But anyways, one thing that's interesting is this GX85, the black one, it's still taking a time lapse like no problem. And it's been the same temperature. It's pretty hot to touch. Not quite as hot, but I mean, it's still going. You could probably hear it. And I think that's saying something. I mean, these are, you know, reliable cameras, and even though they're a little bit smaller than something like the A6300, they're still Panasonics, and I think they have higher quality control, or just maybe they're not crazy like Sony. They'll release something that probably doesn't overheat unless you absolutely bake it. I mean, that's what happened to the silver one over here. It's just baked. Anyways, I'm gonna go inside, try something. Let's see what happens. All right, so I just brought the GX85 indoors after being outside for a really long time. And holy crap, when I touch right around the front of the camera, it is piping hot. This poor thing was tortured, and that's why I'm calling this video torture test, because this is not normal circumstances. You'd probably be in the shade or something when filming in heat like this. Also, year-round, it's not always this hot. It's, you know, indoors and stuff. That's pretty normal filming. So I was not expecting a camera that is this small with, you know, 4K horsepower, in-body stabilization. You're going to be using this thing as a run and gun shooter. It's not necessarily a GH4. even though it's like a mini GH4 in a sense, which is pretty awesome. But anyways, I'm gonna start recording this indoors. You could probably hear the air conditioner going in the background. It's gonna be nice and cool in here, probably around 70, 72 Fahrenheit or so. And let's see how long it can record, because I didn't quite hit that 29-minute limit. I want to see how far it can go. All right, I just got back and I'm checking the file out here, and it says 58 minutes and 5 seconds. And I had to stop it recording. My time lapse actually ran out. I just didn't estimate anything, yeah, whatever. Anyways, that's pretty awesome. Indoors at a normal, sane working temperatures, not in direct sunlight for a whole hour. It's recording at a whole hour, and that's a little strange because I'm pretty sure the B&H and other websites say, 29 minutes limit. So it could be because it's the American, North America version. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And let me check one thing before I end this video. There's a 39 gigabyte, almost 40 gig file here. Let's take a look at the properties. Wow, it's taking a while. 1 second here. 58-minute file, 3840 by 4160, 24 FPS, 40 gigs for about 60 minutes. And this does not seem to have the 29-minute limit where it just stops recording, which is super exciting. That's awesome. And so this camera totally works for me. In the end, I am not worried about it overheating in about 100 degrees, direct sunlight. It still lasted at 28 minutes. If I didn't put it in the shade in 28 minutes, then I'm a retard. I mean, I'm pretty sure the operating temperature is well exceeding that, because that thing was almost, you could probably cook an egg on that camera by the time it gets that hot. I'm not here to argue about image quality. I don't care about S-Log, all that stuff. That's just a different thing, and that's great for you if that works for you. But for me, it's really exciting. So anyways, thanks for watching this dumb video. Don't subscribe, and goodbye.